Hi, I'm Daniel Colwill and this is my ASPD02 presentation on performance analysis. Hughes and Bartlett state performance analysis is about creating a valid and reliable record of performance by means of systematic observations that can be analysed with a view to facilitating change. These observations can be done before, during and after a game by either notating or using game breaker coding. Analysis is done so that the coach can see everything that happens during a game. This is important because post-match a coach can only recall 30% of what actually happened. There are 4 performance indicators. These are physical, psychological, technical and tactical. A physical indicator would be whether the player is fit enough or strong enough to complete the task. A psychological indicator would be whether he has the motivation or the will to complete the skill. The technical would be whether his technique is good enough, and the tactical is whether he has a good enough knowledge of the game to know when to use the right skill. Performance analysis involves 3 types of goals. These are outcome goals, performance goals and process goals. Outcome goals is what happens as a result of the performance, i.e. the result of the match, if a clean sheet's kept or if they keep a good amount of possession. A performance goal uses the statistics behind the outcome. These could be like seeing the amount of passes made or the shots on target. And the process goal is what the athlete should focus on when performing the skill, whether that's using the correct technique or the right tactical awareness whilst doing it. Performance analysis is also part of the coaching process. The analyst will observe the performance and code the game so that all the statistics are available to the coach after. The coach will then work with the analyst to interpret these stats and see where the team can improve. The coach will then plan his training sessions in order to address the issues raised with him and the analyst. This means that they will be able to prepare better for their next performance and ultimately perform better themselves. Plymouth Argyle passing analysis. I analysed the type of passes used in the second half by Plymouth Argyle versus Fleetwood Town. These were if the passes were long or short, or if they were chance creating. I also looked at how successful each type of pass was. I did this by getting the amount that were successful and weren't, and then making it into a percentage. Then I'll identify the tactical aspects of why the team do this, and then look at how they can improve in accordance to the statistics gained. Plymouth's passing stats show that they completed a higher percentage and a greater number of short passes. This means that they must have focused more on this than doing long passes. They also complete less than half of their chance creating passes, meaning they are wasting opportunities to score goals, ultimately meaning they will not win as many games as they could. This chart shows that Plymouth tried more short passes than long passes. It also shows that they completed more passes than they didn't, meaning on a whole that their passing was fairly successful. These charts show that there were a lot more short successful passes than short unsuccessful passes, and it also shows that a high majority of the long passes were unsuccessful. This means this area needs to be worked on, whether it is technically performing the pass or tactically choosing when to play the pass. This chart backs up all the data previously said. It shows that 87% of the short passes were completed. Therefore they are good at this and should focus on doing this more, rather than playing long passes, which are only 45% complete. It also shows that the chance creating passes were under 50% as well, meaning that they need to work on being incisive in playing people through on goal in order to score more goals and get more points. Here, from their own kick-off, Plymouth try and play the ball long, and it is unsuccessful. Fleetwood can easily mop up the long ball and clear. Also here, the fullback could play inside short, but instead decides to let it run out of play and settle for a throw-in. Movement off the ball offers him a short option, but instead he opts to take his time and go long. Again, Fleetwood win the header, and Argyle try another long ball, which is cleared by Fleetwood. A feature of this second half was that every goal kick was taken long and only a few found a Plymouth player. Plymouth pick up the second pieces and play a long ball which was actually successful for once. Then a series of short passes will then set up an opportunity on the edge of the Fleetwood box. This play is better as it is quick and sharp and allows them to get into a goal scoring opportunity. Here is an example of some good play from Plymouth. They pick up the ball and keep playing it short and fast, moving it from one side to the other, dragging Fleetwood players with them. The only thing that's missing is some more movement from the strikers, allowing a forward option. This would have meant that a chance could have been created, instead of just retaining possession. How a coach could use the analysis. They could use it to see which type of passes are most effective for possession retention. They could see if the team's emphasis is being placed on the most effective type of passing, and they could identify drills to use in training in order for the players to improve on their passing. My suggestions to the coach would be to place a greater emphasis on shorter passing. This is because 87% of these were successful compared to 45% of long passing. This means that they'll be able to keep the ball more, and you need the ball to score a goal, so they will score more goals. Teams like Barcelona, Spain and Swansea all play this way, and they have been successful. Spain have won the European Championships and the World Cup. Barcelona have won the La Liga and the Champions League, and Swansea have been promoted 4 divisions and qualified for Europe, as well as winning the League Cup, all by playing possession football. I would also get the coach to make sure the players choose their opportunities to play long balls more carefully. This is because 87% of goals come from sequences of passes with less than 5. This means that long balls may be needed to give some momentum and direction to the attack. Finally, I would advise the coach to make his players more incisive with chance creating passes. He could do this by practicing in pressure situations, so when the chance arrives in a game and they're under pressure to deliver that final ball, they'll be able to do so with greater ease. Finally, the limitations to my analysis. For some of the passes, the players may have had no options available. This means that they would have had to try a creative pass, with it more likely being unsuccessful. Another limitation is that I only analysed half of one game. This means that in the first half, their passing might have been a lot better, and due to fatigue or other physical factors, they may have slouched in the second half. Another limitation is that we only had one camera angle. This means that we couldn't get a full view of what's going on, so we don't know the reason behind why a player's pass may be unsuccessful. It may be the fault of the receiver, not the passer. Another limitation is that we don't know the tactics that the coach is implementing for that game. He may have just needed to avoid a defeat, so the long ball may have been the best option in order to keep the ball out of their area and stop them from conceding goals. The shorter passes may have put them in danger, meaning that they could have been tackled and then Fleetwood could have scored, meaning they might lose. For further information, see my justification and Mahara page. Thank you for watching.